Hey, what's up guys? Stan Medina here. I got another great video for y'all. This is going to be very important if you're a solopreneur. That means if you are one guy, you do the paint, you do the body, you do the booking, you do the accounting, you do everything. This is a solopreneur that wants to really start to grow his business, okay? I got a message a while back from one of our technician brothers that said, hey Stan, I feel like I'm stuck, man. I'm working out of my garage. I want to get a bigger shop. I'm not sure what direction to go. I want to get a bank loan. What do I need to do? I need some help. And so I couldn't give him everything through message. So I said, I'm going to make a video, man, because that way you can watch the video and you can go back. And if you have any questions, just hit me up on Instagram at the Stan Medina or on Facebook Stan Medina. So look for me, and if you have any questions, just message me. Okay. So right now you're a solopreneur. A solopreneur means that you're one person, and you probably have a sole proprietor, or you just have a tax ID number, or you might not even be set up as a business at all. And so that can be one of the first steps, is to say, okay, you know what, I need to open a business. Okay, so right now, if you're working out of your garage and you're saying, okay, how am I gonna take? How do I grow? Okay, I'm gonna give you some steps that you can take, and you can start to move forward in that process of getting a shop or growing your business or whatever you want to do with that. So you're a solopreneur. One thing that you have going for you is you have no overhead. So if you get paid $5,000 for a job, all you're doing right now is you're buying your parts, your material, and if you're paying someone to help you, but now you have a high profit margin. Okay, you have a very high profit margin. And so now what you should do is you should be able to stack that money. I'm pretty sure if you have a current lifestyle, you say, I'm kind of used to like spending excess money, and it's kind of hard for me. I'm not really too good with money. One thing you can do is get open a growth account. So this is a growth account. Is going to be at a bank separate from your personal bank account. So this is going to be a separate bank, a separate location. You say, I want to open a savings account, name it growth fund, and you only want to have you don't want to have a debit card, credit card, checks or nothing. You don't even want to be able to access it online. You just want to make sure that you can deposit and forget about it. This is going to be your growth fund. This is going to come whenever 6 months down the road, a year down the road, you're going to go there and you're going to say, man, you know what, I stacked up a pretty good amount of money to make a move into a business or to start building assets for myself to approach the business industry with more confidence and more power. So solopreneur, you're going to start off by saying, okay, am I maximizing my garage space? Am I using the space wisely? If I can fit 3 cars in there, why am I only working on 1 car? Because I have too much junk in there. So you might need to organize your space so that you can start making a little bit more money out of the small space that you have right now. And that's going to help you grow this fund up a lot faster. Okay? And so you're a solopreneur right now. It's just you doing all the work. You're going to have to start building it up. So next, you're going to have to figure out what type of business entity you're going to create. So most body shops are established under an LLC. So if you don't have a business attorney, you can look up in the Google Maps, say business attorney, and set up a meeting with them. They usually don't charge for the meeting, but just go and just kind of share what you want to do. Say, eventually I want to open a business. I'm looking into creating an LLC. What are some of the fees for that? And so one thing that I had got a message a while back, they said, hey, can I use LegalZoom? Okay. LegalZoom is an online website that you can just form an LLC. You can do a lot of stuff. It's kind of like an online lawyer kind of access where you can get attorney services online. Okay, you can go that route. I would suggest finding a lawyer within your city. The reason being is so you can build that relationship with that attorney, and he can help you with other things as you grow your business. You don't want to just go online and just do this one-time thing. The LegalZoom, it'll be good like if you're just opening a small business where you just need like an LLC just to kind of get going. But for a body shop or any kind of stuff working with vehicles, you want to have an attorney that you can go to help you set up like authorization forms, storage forms, employees forms. So you're always going to be able to work with him. And as you build that relationship, his fees are actually going to go down because you already built that relationship. And so something that would have cost you $2,000 now might cost you maybe $1,000 down the road because he knows you and you already built that relationship. So get with an attorney to figure out, the fees for the LLC. And you don't have to do the LLC like right now. The purpose of going to meet your attorney is just to build that relationship. Okay? So that's one way you got to structure the business. You got to structure it under an LLC, okay? But I remember, you got to make sure you're stacking your growth account first. So you want to get this as high as you can before you start to make moves, okay? So you're going to figure out what LLC, figure out how the LLC works, how much it's going to be. So, the LLC is going to cost me $1,500, check. I know how much that's going to cost, okay? Then you got to figure out what are you going to target, okay? Who's going to be your target customer? If you do mechanic, if you do custom, if you do collision, if you do motorcycles, if you do boats, if you do RVs, it's going to be too scattered of a market to try to target. You need to narrow down to one thing. What you can do is you can actually make a list. So now you're going to have to start doing some research on your area and on your industry. You can say, okay, you know what? This year I did this many RVs, this many motorcycles, this many collision repairs, this much custom, this much boats, and you want to see what your highest profit margin is, and say, man, you know what? I actually did some RVs, and I made some pretty good money on that, and the cycle time was pretty fast. Maybe I should focus my business on being an RV specialist. Okay, and the reason why you want to narrow it down, because when you start to market, it's going to be easier to market because you're going to go after that customer, and you're going to be able to market to their style of communication. Like, for example, if you're marketing to like RVs, if you know, okay, you know what, I'm going to target RVs because it's fiberglass work, it's easy touch-up work, or whatever the case. Whenever you market, you're gonna speak. Hey, we work on the RV, the X25 something to so and so, and we use. You want to speak that language so they know that you know what you're talking about. You don't want to come up on your ad and be like, we one-stop shop. We fix everything. It's almost all over the place. Okay, it's just too all over the place. You need to focus on a particular service and a particular target customer, and you need to focus on that, and you need to make sure you know that space. Okay, know who your competition is. Just kind of see. You don't want to copy your competition. You want your competition to copy you. So that means that if you're going to go into the RV space, you want to make sure that you're dominating that space. You want to make sure that you're known as the expert in that space. Okay, so you're gonna see what market you're gonna target. Okay, once you pick a target, you're gonna hit it up. You're gonna circle. You're gonna be like, okay, so this is what we're focusing on. After that, you're gonna say, okay, what is a good name that's gonna target that market? Okay, the name has to match the targeted service that you're providing. I'll give you an example. For many of years, I did custom painting. My shop was South Texas Custom. I'll put a video up here of some stuff that I did in the past, and so we got to a point where we started doing more insurance claims. Okay, and so I got with the web designer, and I said, hey man, I need to make a website. And he's like, well, what do you want to? What kind of work are you doing? He's like, I said, well, we've been doing a lot of insurance claims. I want to focus more on insurance claims. And so he said, okay, well, let's design a website. And so the website was South Texas Custom, and then it had 2 custom cars on it. But then on the bottom it says insurance claims welcome. Okay, And so the problem was that the website was too confusing. So if someone referred someone to get their front bumper replaced because they got a fender bender, and they go to our website and it says South Texas Custom, and it sees custom cars, they're gonna be like, hey, you know what? I don't want to get my car custom painted. I just need to get my bumper fixed. So it repels that client because it's not aligning with what they want. And so you got to make sure that your service is aligning of what you're trying to target. So if you're saying, okay, you know what, I just want to do touch-ups and bumper repairs, and kind of some in and out quick stuff. Your website is going to have a bunch of different bumpers that you repaired, maybe some headlights refinished, maybe some touch-up stuff. So when that customer goes there, they're going to say, all right, you know what, these are the guys, because they got all these bumpers they did. They know what they're doing. I'm going to take my car there. So you got to make sure the name, the whole thing matches with what you're trying to target, okay? So once you figure out that, the name, the LLC, then you got to get the targeted market. Now you got to start working all these areas, okay? It seems like a lot of work, but once you start to get in the habit of doing this for your business, you're going to start to see things start to change, and just things are going to start to get better. You're going to say, you know what, I'm seeing some progress here. So that's gonna motivate you. And so that's one of the ways. I don't want to get too much off subject about motivation, but motivation starts with your vision and your plan and how you're executing your plan. Because I guarantee you, if you go from working in your garage to having a target to having an LLC, that's gonna motivate you. You don't need no one to hype you up in the morning, because you're like, you know what, I know where I'm going. You don't have to tell me, you don't have to motivate me, you don't have to hype me up, because I know where I'm going. And so that's what self-motivation is. So self-motivation starts from you knowing where you want to go, and you every day working towards that, and that's going to motivate you, because you're seeing your vision, and you're playing out your vision as you go every day. Okay, so you started here, you focus on your targeted customer, you form your LLC, business name. You have to make sure that your shop is legit. You want to make sure that you stay away from like names. Like you don't want to name the business after your name. Make it something that's brandable. Something that's catchy, something that people can remember, something that's not attached with the name. A lot of mom and pop businesses, they've made a mistake of attaching a name to their business, and so now it's just like that's their business. Like it's not scalable. It's thinking kind of small. So make sure that you don't come up with a name that's your name, or just think outside the box, something creative, something that that's gonna stand out, something that's catchy. Okay, so you go from here to here, target. So now you got your targeted market. Now you're stacking up your money. You're getting more information, because you're figuring out how the LLC works. You're figuring out your target customer. Okay, now you're fixing out your name. Now you're building a brand. Okay, now you gotta start working on these areas. Okay, this is where you're gonna have to start putting in some work. Okay, you're gonna have to start putting in some work, but I guarantee you it's gonna pay off. It's really gonna pay off. Okay, so you got your targeted market. Now you gotta start doing some of this stuff. One of the things you're gonna have to do is, if you gotta check your credit score. You gotta make sure that you're monitoring your credit score. You gotta make sure that you're moving out of debt. You gotta make sure that you're getting stuff paid off. You gotta make sure your credit's not gonna be in bad shape. Okay. As you're building your account, so focus on your credit. Make sure your credit is your score's rising. Make sure you keep your debt under. If you can keep it under 15%. What I mean by that is, if you have a credit card for $1,000, you don't want to spend more than $150. Okay, that's 15%. It's 15%. So you don't want to spend more than $150, and so that's gonna keep your credit score going up. Okay, banking relationships. So you got this money here, right? You got 10 grand. You got 10 grand here, right? Okay, so now you're starting to like put the pieces of the puzzle together. Okay, now banking relationships. You're gonna visit several banks in your area. You want to visit smaller banks so you can build that relationship. Business is about numbers and relationships. Okay, it's about numbers and relationships. Okay, so you want to build these banking relationships. You want to go there and say, hey, you know what? I'm looking into eventually, opening a business. I'm looking into eventually getting some equipment. I'm looking into maybe getting some credit lines later. I'm looking into getting into some real estate, and I'm looking for a bank that's willing to work with me and kind of get the process going of doing that. And so remember, if you're a solopreneur, the bank's not just gonna hand over money to them. Okay, they're not just gonna say, all right, yeah, you look like a good guy. Here's some money. Go ahead and have fun. They're not gonna do that. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to build a banking relationship, and you're gonna have to start to get a collateral loan. Okay, you're gonna take this 10,000 and you're gonna give it to the bank, and they're gonna give you a collateral loan. So you're gonna give them the 10, and they're gonna give you like about 8 back. Okay, it's gonna be a collateral loan. What that means is that you're a high risk lender, and you're backing up your loan with your own money. Okay, so they're gonna say, okay, you know what, you want to borrow 8,000, give us 10 and we'll give you 8. But what it's doing, you're not gonna go spend that 8 and owe the bank money. You're gonna get the 8, you're gonna put it back in your savings, and you're gonna start to pay off that loan with the money they gave you. And you're probably thinking, well, that's kind of dumb because I'm gonna be paying interest on it. Yeah, you are gonna be paying interest, but you're building your credit with that bank. You're building that relationship. Okay, it's gonna cost you money because you're gonna have to pay the interest. But what you're doing is you're establishing a relationship while you're doing all this other stuff. while you're trying to figure out the LLC, while you're trying to figure out your target, while you're making money, while you're stacking money, you're building this relationship here. Okay, this relationship is not going to be at its peak for like another 2 years maybe. So this is a 1 to 2, maybe 3 year process right here. And so this, you're gonna go out. You're gonna say, you know what, I wanna. You can start off with 5,000. You can say, you know what, I only have 5,000 right now. I want to get a collateral loan. They'll say, okay, give us the 5. We'll give you 35 back, and just pay us back over. I think it's probably be like a year, maybe 2 years, and you just pay the money. Just pay it back. You already have the money. Don't spend the money. Just use the money to pay it back. Okay. Once you pay it back, you have one loan under your belt. It's going to show up on your credit report as a loan. Okay. Then you do it again. Remember, you're building the relationship. They're like, oh man, this guy's paying us back. He's pretty responsible. He's paying his bills on time. He's good. You build this relationship up. At the same time, you're working on your credit. You're making sure this is in tip-top shape, because eventually they're gonna approve you for a $10,000 loan without collateral. And the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna pull your credit. So after the second time you get a collateral loan, you're gonna say, hey, you know what? I want to get a line of credit. I want to get a personal loan. They're gonna pull your credit, and if you haven't been working on that credit, they're gonna deny you. So you want to make sure it's pieces to the puzzle. This is all it's like gears on a machine. Like they all start to work together. So you gotta work the machine. I'm gonna go over it again. Look. You're a solopreneur. You gotta make sure you're maximizing your space right now. If you're in your garage, if you're going half of someone's shop, make sure you're maximizing your space, making sure you're making you're saving as much profit as you can into your growth account. You're gonna go to your growth account. While you're building this growth account up, you want to meet with a business attorney to start to figure out the process to form an LLC. Okay. You're going to form the LLC. I left one step out. You're going to have to get with the bookkeeper, okay? You're gonna have to meet with an attorney for the LLC and a bookkeeper just to share what your vision is, where you want to be with your business. Say, and you can share with them, hey, you know what? By next year, I'm looking to open a business. I'm looking to form an LLC, or if you want to do it this year, I'm looking to form an LLC. And then you're gonna get with the bookkeeper and let her know what you're doing, so they're on the same page. Once you find an attorney and a bookkeeper, you can have them communicate to each other so they're on the same page. Now they're part of your team because they know what your vision is. Okay, so these are going to be two key partners into really getting the foundation of your business going. Once you get these going, you're going to focus on your targeted customer. Once you got the targeted customer, you're going to start your name and your brand. What is your name and your brand? You want to stay away from, like I said, from like names, like family names, your personal names. Try to make it something kind of creative. Ours is Certified Collision Works. We go by certified. It's kind of catchy, and we have like a logo. It's like of a car, so it's pretty brandable. Your credit score, you want to make sure you focus on that. The banking relationships, the collateral loans, you want to make sure you're getting those collateral loans. You don't want to you just let the term go out if you can. Like if it's a 12-month term or a 24 months, let it go out as long as it can. Just pay it on time every month. You can even set it up on auto payment if you wanted to. You can actually, the account that you have on your growth, you can actually set it to be auto drafted on those payments. That way, you put the money there, and it's just paying by itself. You're not even having to manage it. It's just paying by itself, and it's building your credibility and it's building your credit. Okay. You want to focus on your Facebook, Google Maps, and your website. Okay. This is going to be for branding, and it doesn't matter if you're working out of your house for right now. You can change the address on these whenever you decide to move. The important thing is to start building up your clientele. Start to let people know that you're in business, that you're taking in work, and you're kind of starting to create attention for your business. Because the last thing you don't want to like go through all this and then you move to a big shop and like nobody knows where you're at. So stay engaged with this through the whole process, and if you have to change the address, you can easily change the address on Google. You can change it on your website. You can change it on your Facebook. That's not going to be too hard. But the important thing is that you start to build up those clients. So everything starts to work together, okay? And so this is where it gets fun, okay? This is once you get through this, once you get through that process, you're gonna start to have fun, because you're gonna be like, man, you know what? Now I know more or less how the system works. And now I know how to get what I need to get for my business, how I need to get for my family, how am I going to grow, what moves am I going to make. Okay, so look, now you're still solopreneur, remember. Now you have those banking relationships. Now you know hopefully you've built up this growth account some, you know what I mean? So now you can say, okay, you know what? Now you have some assets. You have some credibility. This is your only asset right now. If you are able to save up $20,000, that's an asset. Okay, that's valuable. So whenever you go to say, I want to get a business. I want to get a bigger shop. I want to start to invest in real estate. I want to open a business. Now when you go to the bank, you're able to start to get equipment loans. You're able to start to look at real estate investments on top of having your business, on top of having your shop. Okay, so it all kind of comes together, because the banks already know that they can count on you, and they know that you're a real business guy because you have an LLC. They know you have a bookkeeper. They know that you keep up with your taxes. They know that you know what you're doing with this area, because this is a big indicator. Whenever you get to this level here, if you're at this level and you're at the bank and you're saying, hey, you know what, I want to buy an investment property. Okay, let's get your financial statement. Show us your declaration pages for your business. They're going to ask you these questions, okay? And now you're working with your attorney, you're working with your bookkeeper, and you're working with your banker. You already built these relationships, so they're going to be able to produce a financial statement. They're going to be able to produce your profit and loss sheets. They're going to be able to produce your documents for your business. So whenever you go into play these bigger games right here, you're prepared because you spent time building those relationships. You don't want to. Most people, what they do is they go here and they want to jump to this. And this is I made this mistake. Like I made this mistake. I went from this to this, and I tell you what, I felt like an idiot. I felt like an idiot because I showed up to this banker's office. I set an appointment. I show up. I'm in my painting shoes. Okay, if you paint and do body work in your shoes, your boots, I had those on. So you know what they look like with the overspray and all that crap. I had some cargo jeans, some cargo shorts on, and I did a lot of custom painting at the time. So my shorts had a bunch of one shot enamel on it. It had overspray on them. It had some tears in it. I had like this shoestring tie for a belt because whenever you're painting, you don't want the belt buckle to scratch the car. And I had a t-shirt on, and I thought I was like in business because I was ranked one of the top painters in Texas. I was like, man, you know what? I'm ranked one of the top painters in Texas, dude. I'm an artist. Like I know what I'm doing. Like people call me from all over. Like I get work. I get work. So, but when I was talking to the banker, he's like, man, you know what? Can I pull your credit? I was like, pull my credit, man. He's like, dang, dude. He's like, your credit's pretty jacked up. And I was like, yeah, I know. I say I buy everything cash, dude. I say I don't need my credit. I just buy everything cash. I don't want to get into debt. And he's like, well, if you expect to grow in your business, you kind of need your credit, because the credit not only shows that you can pay, but it also shows how responsible of a person you are. He goes in, what about your tax returns? What about your profit and loss sheets? And I was like, man, I have a box at the shop with all my paperwork in it. And he's like, yeah, you know what? That's not going to work, man. He's like, how do you expect to come in here and get approved for, a $200,000, $300,000 loan when you can't even give me a profit and loss sheet? You can't even give me a year to date. Your business is under a sole proprietor. Like it doesn't. And so I felt very small, but I remember I told him, I said, you know what? I said, I'll be back. I'll be back in a couple of years. I said, I promise you I'll be back in a couple of years. And I remember when I left, it was a reality check, and I never wish that on anybody. So that's why I'm making this video, because I don't want you to go up and be kind of embarrassed and be made, because it might intimidate you, and it might say, you know what, this business stuff is not for me. And that's not true. You just need to know the right information. So I made the mistake from going here to here without going all over here. So what I did was, when I went here, I came back. And I said, okay, let me start here, and let me start here, and let me start here, and let me start here, let me start here, and let me start here. Okay? After I did all this, I came back over here. Okay? I came back over here. But I came back 100 times stronger. I came back 100 times stronger. And when I came back, I meant business, because I studied. I studied and I educated myself, and I got mentors. And when I came back, I not only showed up with my information, I showed up with value. I showed up. If you haven't heard my podcast about how you show up, I showed up, okay? I walked in there. I said, hey, man, I'm back. Oh, it's you. Yeah, I'm back. All right, what do you want to do? I said, I'm ready to rock and roll. Well, you remember the last time we met, you were in pretty bad shape. Yeah, I know. How's your credit look? Here's my credit report. How's your profit and loss sheets? Bam. How's your business structure? Bam, bam, bam. Several LLCs. I said, I'm ready to do business. He's like, man. I never thought that you would come back. I said, no, I told you I was gonna come back. I'm a man of my word. I came back. Eventually started getting into real estate, business lines of credit, loans. And so now you're in a position where you have assets. And now banks want to work with you, okay? Now you're in a different position. And now, now whenever you go to the bank, you actually have skin in the game. Like they see you have a business, they see you have a savings. If you choose to get into like real estate, if you have like let's say if you buy like an investment property, let me give you another example of one thing you can do to make you come back stronger. Okay, you're a solopreneur. You got with an attorney for the LLC, how to figure out how that works. You got with the bookkeeper. You're working this strategy right here. Okay, you got the banking relationship going, and remember you're still in a very good position because you have no overhead. You don't have no bills. Whenever you open a shop, it comes with responsibilities. You have the light, the water, the internet, the estimating systems, the insurance, your employees, windstorm. You have you have to buy water for the shop. You have to buy equipment. You have to buy. So it comes with. So what happens whenever you go from a solopreneur to a full-blown shop, your profit margin is going to take a dump because you're having to put so much back into the shop, and you're like, man, you know what? I didn't realize it was so. I didn't estimate how much expenses I was going to incur. Okay, and so like I said, it matters on your target market of what your overhead's going to be. If you say, you know what, I'm going to focus on RVs. Okay, I'm going to focus on RVs. So now I'm going to have to find a taller shop to fit the RVs in. Okay, so that's going to be a bigger shop than you might have estimated. Okay, let's say you want to do PDR, paintless dent repair. Okay, you're like, you know what, I want to do paintless dent repair. Okay, so now you got to buy equipment. You got to buy a vehicle. You don't want to show up in nothing that's not professional. You got to get the wrap. You got to get the insurance. Okay, you got to get uniforms. You got to make sure that you have reserve cash, because if you're doing work for dealerships, they're not going to pay you right on the spot. They're going to take 30 to 60 to even 90 days to pay you. So you got to make sure that you have reserves for that. Okay, so those are just some examples of researching what your targeted is going to be. Okay, let's go back to this. So you have this growth account going. You can actually maybe start to invest in real estate, and that's going to help you build your assets. That's going to help you build your wealth, because if you're trying to get if you want to get a loan for equipment, let's say you want to get $20,000. The bank's going to ask for 20% of that down, okay? But you can also do that with real estate. You can actually get into real estate, and I don't want to get too much off subject on how that'll help your business, but if you can go to the bank and you already have some acquired wealth, what I mean by wealth is if you already have a good savings account, if you already have some investment properties that have equity in it, they see that as you can also use that as collateral to grow your business. So there's a bunch of different strategies, but I'm going to stick to the basic stuff right now, just so we can get you out of the garage and into all this other stuff. So I hope I know this is like a lot of stuff. I wanted to kind of just go over as much as I could. I'm pretty sure you're going to have some questions, man. Reach out to me on Instagram at the Stan Medina, or on Facebook, Stan Medina. Send me a message on either of those platforms, and I'll add you to our Facebook. It's a technician page, a business growth page, and you can also message me there if you have any questions, or say, hey Stan, can you make a video about this? And I'll definitely do it, man. I appreciate y'all's time. Thanks for watching.